Ooh. There we go. I had a toggle on and didn't know about it. But welcome, welcome. Hopefully y'all can hear me and everything's looking good. Everything is very strange currently. Hello, Minette. Nice to see you. Interesting. I should have... 1 second. Oh, that's why it's not in there. That's why. This is going to be a very experimental first stream. But let's get started then. And of course, there's a cat right in front of everything. As per always. Yeah, tonight we are playing some Ace Attorney Apollo Justice, or Apollo Justice Ace Attorney. I'm not sure the order of things, but I'm excited to start playing and get going. So let me know if the audio is all okay. I tried to level things, but it was kind of hard because Ace Attorney is much louder than you'd expect. Banging music, but louder. Let us see. Bing. Boom, 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 boom. Hopefully all good. But I can no longer see the stream because I only have one monitor. I can only see chat. So fingers crossed all is well here. Cat, stop headbutting my hand. She's trying to headbutt my mouse. But let's get into it. Yes. Yes, 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 yes. Yeah, well, only one monitor, but it's like 34, 36 inches, so it's massive, which is why I can see like chat and this on the same time. Oh, Phoenix, what happened to you? We'll find out. Okay, let's get into it. If sound's all sounding good and everything looks good, then I think we're gonna start up the game. Let's go for it. I'm excited. I haven't played any of this before, and I've like seen and played a lot of the Phoenix Wright and like great Ace Attorney games, and it's so much fun. Go away, cat. Oh, have you played this before, Minette? Old timey. Ooh, nice. Yeah, it just came out on PC like a month or two ago, I want to say. So I got it then. It was expensive, but I want it. Full House and something else. I missed it. I lose. Whoa! He doesn't want to lose. He does not want to lose. There was an eek. Uh-oh. Somebody got mad at a poker game. I seem to be in a bit of trouble. Something like that. Dead. Someone hit him. Hard. Definitely not me. Me? Please, the cops should be here any minute. I'm in your hands, should it come to that. Dun dun dun. Oh, is that picture new? These two aren't new, but I feel like I never noticed this picture of the judge staring off into the distance. April 20th, 9:37 a.m., District Court, Defendant Lobby number 3. Panicked, palms sweaty, knees weak, arms spaghetti. I can admit it, I'm nervous. Good morning. Hello. Good morning, sir. You look tense, Justice. Wound up tight. Wound up, sir? No, I'm loose. I'm fine. That screeching noise, is that your voice? I suppose it's to be expected. Your first trial and it's homicide. Jesus Christ. Justice doesn't start small, eh? Oh, is his last name actually Justice? That makes sense. That's the name of the game. I'm fine. I got up at 5 a.m. to do my chords, steel, voice workout. I'm fine. Uh-oh, he shouts. Ah, that explains it. I did detect a certain rasping quality to your screech. Same. I overdid it again. Ooh, I like the art. As you know, your client today is a good friend of mine. I wouldn't want him to let him down, if you get my drift. Drift gotten, sir. I'm all over that drift. I like Apollo first, so... Apollo, the most man to ever trance. We'll see. Yeah. As it happens, I dined with him the night of the murder. You dined with him? Were you there? We can't let this case fall through. Yes, I'm fine, sir. One more thing. Don't say you're fine quite so much. People might take you the wrong way. Gulp. I'll be preparing our case. You might not want to you might want to introduce yourself to the client. Okay. Let's see. My name is Apollo Justice. If it isn't clear already, I'm a new attorney, your baby. And today is my first trial. Not that I'm worried or anything, Baka. I don't know why I said that, Jesus Christ. Hello! Hi, Gagtooth. Welcome, welcome. Hopefully your dinner went well. I just started this up. Hi, Caro. Good to see you. Yeah, Baka, it's not like I'm nervous or anything. The V2 model looks great. Thank you. I can't see it, like I said before. I can, like, kind of see my ear and my shoulder, but that's it. So hopefully everything's working good. The defendant has been accused of murder. My boss wants to help him out, of course, and so do I. I mean, there's no way he did it. Not him. No way. Who is him? Our man! Our boy! Whoa! Phoenix, what happened to you? Good, morning. Morning. It's all up to you today. First trial, nervous. Meeting him, cardiac arrest. I think I'm supposed to say something. Help? So you're, fine. I'm fine. Ah, Mr. Fine, is it? Phoenix Wright, stinky attorney. Attorney at Stank. What's this, like, necklace thing that he's got around here? I don't know. I did remember you having an odd name. Your name is Phoenix, like you can talk. Well, we're off to a great start. Are you sure you're okay? I mean, with me? Mr. Gavin is a top-notch defense attorney, and he's your friend, so why? You'll see. You can do it. Be confident. Thank you, Phoenix. Thank you. I'm really sorry this happened to you. I mean, did you lose all your money betting cards? It's time, shall we? Yes, sir. You need a shave, Phoenix. Do not thank this man? Do not thank Phoenix? Do not thank Apollo? My memory is 2 seconds long. First trial, here comes justice. You have a catchphrase, your baby. April 20th, 10 a.m. Court number 2. He grew out his hair in all the wrong ways. The court is now in session. Ugh, gross. And that suit color. My god. Apollo's hair rules? Yes, Apollo's hair does rule. This man grew out his hair in all the wrong way. Payne's hair is something, for sure. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. The defense is, fine. I mean, ready, Your Honor. It's like clock hands. Oh, goodness, I like this. Mind going blank. Don't panic. Act too late. Your name was Mr. Justice? Very fitting. And this is your first trial? Yes, Your Honor, but I'm fine, really. I say I'm fine all of the time. Are you quite sure? Your voice sounds a bit strained. Cough. Ahem, Mr. Gavin. Christoph Gavin. Fancy. Yes, Your Honor. I was under the impression that you would be heading up this case. That was my intention, yes. However, a defense attorney must always cede to his client's wishes. I mean, not always. That seems very bad. Clients can be dumb. Speaking as somebody who has, like, design clients. And my client specifically requested Mr. Justice. Soft eyes. I don't know if I want to be trusting this soft face yet. Of course, the girl with horns says Apollo's hair rules. Yeah! Spiky horns. Well, of course he wants justice. But to entrust his case to this greenhorn, why? I do not exaggerate when I say that you're the best defense attorney in town, Mr. Gavin. Ooh. What happened to Phoenix? When did Gavin come on the scene? Okay, so Gavin's got trial experience, fine. But does he have cords of steel? Can he shout real loud? Your assistant in case one always dies? No, because wasn't Maya the assistant and she was there forever. Look at this droopy man. He's tired. What shit have you seen, Phoenix? This is truly an unfortunate turn of events. I'm sorry we had to meet again under these circumstances. Oh, Mia Fey, you are correct. It wasn't Maya, it was Mia. Long time no see, Mr. Wright. Let's put the past behind us, shall we? These days, I'm merely Phoenix Wright, piano player. Piano player? What? Mr. Wright, how could this have happened? That's what I'm saying. I won't speak of it further, then. If the prosecution would be so kind as to explain the charges, Mr. Payne. Do you think I saw you enter this room a fresh attorney? I'm not doing that voice, but that's what he sounds like in my brain. And now I'll see you leave in chains. Oh, Winston Payne, subtle as ever, I see. Ahem. The crime occurred at the Borscht Bowl Club? A Russian restaurant. Okay, sounds fun. The defendant, Phoenix Wright, took the victim, a customer, and he hit him. Wham! On the head. Smack. Killed him cold. Do you have evidence? Or are you just saying shit? Borscht. A customer at the restaurant, you say? And the defendant, you say he was the pianist for the club, it seems. This Russian restaurant has a lounge pianist? I'm going there. Phoenix Wright, a pianist? This is the weapon that took the victim's life. A bottle of grape juice. Definitely not wine. Grape juice is apparently our defendant's drink of choice. The court accepts the deadly bottle as evidence. Ooh, court record. I'm used to playing things on the Switch. I don't know how to play it on the computer. Yeah, grape juice. Heavy quotations. Something to note, Justice. All evidence is filed in the court record. Make a practice of checking it frequently. Here he is. Smith. Okay. So yeah, it was poker. And this one doesn't have a cap. The other one had a cap. Those... Oh god, those are some wrathful grapes. Thank you, Gagtooth. So he had a full house. 2 aces, 2 aces. Is that also an ace? Was this man cheating? It's got many buttons. Facial hair. Not great wall decoration. Oh, it bears his prints. Oh. Okay, I'm gonna come back to this later, thank you. A first-rate defendant's attorney and my trusted mentor. I don't like the trusted. According to his passport, he had been out of the country for a number of years. He had only returned to this country recently, though his place of residence is unclear. And he had some sort of connection with the defendant? That too is unclear at this present, Your Honor. We don't know why Phoenix did a wham-bam with the bottle, but he did, apparently. We believe they first met at the Borscht Bowl Club on the night of the crime. If they had only just met, then why murder? Perhaps the victim slighted the defendant's piano playing? That doesn't appear to be in the case. Phoenix Wright is a sick-ass piano player. No, the motive had nothing to do with the defendant's lack of playing skill. At least not piano playing. I'll let this photo explain what I mean. Yeah, we saw this. As we can see, a game of poker was in progress at the scene of the crime. Wait a second. Isn't poker gambling? Gasp. Gambling's a crime? What? I don't know laws. That's illegal. Has fallen to become the basest sort of criminal. Somebody who plays cards. I don't know. Oh, Japan laws. It is true that the defendant was engaged in a game of poker with the victim. Yet it was only that, a game in the purest sense. A competition, Your Honor. Yeah, no money. A competition? Yes, a test of wits, a silent clash of passions. Only the cards, their backs wreathed in blue flame. Maybe that'll be important. No, its final outcome. And the pic- we got a photograph. Come again? The cards on the table had blue backs, Your Honor. I believe the defense was waxing poetic in an attempt to mystify those present. That's not fire. And impress women. This man doesn't seem like he wants to impress women. That will be our first order of business here then, to find out more about this fatal game of cards. Look at that smirk. Very well, defendant. You will testify to the court about the poker competition held on the night of the crime. My pleasure. This is it, my first trial. Here goes nothing. Witness testimony. The competition. I'm a pianist by trade, yet I can hardly play at all. Oh, my real job is to take on interested customers over at the poker table. Oh, because he's very good at catching lies, so probably bluffs. The room where we play and the competition in there are the club's main attractions. The rules are simple. We play a game of poker using 2 decks of cards. That's all it is, a game. And our customers are happy. A pianist who can't play piano. Better than a defense attorney who can't defend. Pain! You're going for the throat, buddy. Very well. The defense may begin the cross-examination. Right, Your Honor. My first cross-examination. Don't blow it. Are you alright? You're sweating bullets. Bullets? Where? I thought we were dealing with grape juice. It's just a figure of speech, Justice. Your voice sounds strained and raspy, too. It does look like a piping bag. I was trying to think of what it reminds me of, and piping bag is definitely it. My brain feels strained and raspy, sir. Same. You've watched me perform cross-examinations many times, though you've never done one yourself, have you? Care for a refresher? Aw, look at his face. I love him. Sure, yeah. Better safe than sorry, especially this early in the game. Literally. Yes, teach me. I know nothing. I'm a lawyer, but I don't know anything. Indeed, your job, Justice, is to be mindful of the court record and the testimony. Look for inconsistencies in the testimony with what the court record tells you. When you found an inconsistency, that's when you present the conflicting evidence from the court record with E. Okay, so E is going to be very important. But I didn't hear anything strange at all in the testimony just now. A good sign that you need to press the witness with Q for more information. E. E. Press him? No, press Q. That's what I just said. Don't let the fact that he's a remarkable man hold you back. Get more information. But isn't Mr. Wright my client? Well, think you can do it? Yes, thank you, sir. I think I can do it. I think you'd better, or we're going to have a problem. Just remember, find any inconsistencies and lies in the testimony and reveal them to the court. That is cross-examination. Learn it, know it, do it. Inconsistencies? Lies? Phoenix Wright? As if Phoenix Wright would never lie, and it's up to me to prove it. Okay, we begin the cross-examination. Okay, so I'm not going to read what he already said. But, okay, why are you a pianist? You can hardly play? Oh, I play sometimes, when customers demand it. so I play them one song. That's usually all they want. Was that supposed to be a boast just now? The title of pianist is a mask, a respectable face I wear for the world at large. Then why are you really at the Borscht Bowl Club? I'm a poker player. They pay you just to play poker? That would seem to be the case. I am a professional after all. Bah, do I detect pride in that statement? Yeah, just the pouty face. Do I detect pride in that statement? It's just hard for an honest, hardworking member of society like me to imagine. I don't like you. I don't like you. Yes, your imagination though is always a bit limited, Winston. Burn. What? I've played poker for 7 years. 7 years! In that little room. And I've never lost once. God damn. Okay, yeah, you can have some pride, Phoenix. That's pretty impressive. What? You see why the customers come now? Defeat the undefeated poker champion. It's quite a draw. That is, I'm quite a draw. Wait, you've never lost once? Not even one time? As I said, I'm a professional. He's played poker for 7 years and not lost once. Is that even possible? Club's main attractions. Okay, well this is the only way I can get this. So I am gonna rotate the bottle now, Caro. Oh, like this, okay. Ooh, cookie? Cookie? Bottle is completely empty. Grape juice. How long has it been since I drank grape juice? Apparently, it's Mr. Wright's favorite drink. I wonder how well it goes with borscht. Ugh. I don't think very well. Can we get the... There's a cap on it, and the one in the picture didn't have a cap. Ah, oh well. Okay. Room where you played, the rules are simple. Oh, go back. Back? Press. We're pressing everything, because this is the first trial case. The room in the crime scene photo is an attraction? It has quite a history, actually. The Borscht Bowl Club used to be a gathering spot for black market types back in the day. Back in the day, definitely not now. All in the past, things like the black market are only on the silver screen nowadays. Suffice it to say that there were a lot of deals being made under the table. The poker table. Right there in that room. Is that how you spell smoky? A smoky room, gambling hoods, you know. Just looking at this picture makes me feel, in quotes, bad. The bosses gather around the table, cutting deals, safe from the eyes of the law. Oh, hi, old man Gizmo. I was like, where'd that wow come from? I forgot I have sound alerts, but hello. The bosses gather around the table, cutting deals, safe from the eyes of the law. Meanwhile, a goon keeps watch through the small window. Wow! Meanwhile, a goon keeps watch from the small window. I can practically picture it now. That window does look... Oh, that window. I thought that was a light. But thank you for telling me it was a window. Good for keeping a lookout, but little else. Did like a rock fly through it or something? Seen you on the local Discord and had to come say hi? Hello! Yeah, on Waltz's Discord? Yeah, sorry, I've been like spamming with the look at all the cool stuff I've built. So now I actually have to do something with it and stream. But I've wanted to play this game for a long time, so this is a good opportunity. The room had a few other tricks to it, though it was common knowledge to our regulars. At any rate, they come to play poker in a room steeped in history. Despite the dark past, it was all just good, clean fun. What are the other tricks? Is there like secret passageways and stuff? We play a game of using 2 decks of cards, but I thought it was just blue. Goon window has been added to. I don't want to call it a goon window. Do not call it a goon window. 2 decks of cards? A simple measure to prevent cheating. Oh, okay, maybe that's why there was more than 4 aces. If you alternate 2 decks... Oh no, alternate. If you alternate 2 decks, no one can slip in cards. There's something else I noticed. In addition to the cards on the table, there are some lying scattered on the floor. Yeah, there are 5 aces. Precisely. Cards on the table, cards upon the floor, each one forming a complete deck. Oh, okay. A crime scene painted blue by a sad sweep of cards. It's poetic, really. I don't think I like this man. Incidentally, we use 2 types of cards at the club. Oh, they do have different backs. Okay. One deck of cards was red, the other was blue. But then why don't we have a color picture, please? Why black and white? As I recall, in poker, you make 5-card hands. This man really loves his quotes. Yeah, continuing to wax. Poetic, wax in general, who knows? I can see how it'd be easy to cheat. Heh, yes, a game of hands. What does that mean? What does that mean? This competition you're talking about. I believe the court understands the nature of the game sufficiently. That's right. It was a simple game after all. Are you sure? Huh? People are not murdered over simple games, Mr. Justice. Defendant, you were in the room the very moment that the crime occurred. Yet you claim no connection to the crime. Now that's strange. What's strange? I was testifying about the competition that night. Asking me about the crime at this point is against the rules, Your Honor. Haha. Hands are only a theory? What's the other possibility? What's the other possibility? Of course, I expected to hear a cry of objection from the defense. Oh, I completely let that one slip it by. Yeah, we haven't heard an objection yet. Don't despair yet, Justice. Sir? Right, there's something I'd like made clear. Okay. Namely, your connection to the case at hand, and I'd like to hear it from you. Sure, why not? He's like smooth criminal at this point, but hopefully not criminal. Very well, the defendant will amend his testimony. Just one little press, and I've got myself a whole new testimony. I mean, I pressed all of them, so. I plead silence regarding the murder, but I will say I never touched the murder weapon. Oh, but no, we've got... My guy... Oh, unless this wasn't the murder weapon, he was just drinking. But it says, bears the defendant Mr. Wright's prints. Objection! Our first objection! Hell yeah! So you say you didn't touch the murder weapon, this grape juice bottle, right? So I said. Something the matter, Mr. Justice? Hee hee hee! Oh god, that luxurious hair. Too bad our new defense attorney never learned how to play dumb. What's this, Mr. Payne? I examined the bottle in question, you see, and it was covered with the defendant's fingerprints. Gasp! Objection! No need to shout, Mr. Justice. I can hear you just fine. Aw, look at his cute face. Excess yelling can damage the judge's ears. And our face, yes, cords of steel for sure. But what about my cords of steel? There you go, Karo, you're asking the same question. Anyway, what's so strange about fingerprints in a bottle in a restaurant? That's fair. Well, that's true. The prints alone don't prove. Objection! Yeah. The little, like, 3, like, Oh, they wouldn't prove a thing if they were normal fingerprints? Yeah, huh? But the fingerprints on the murder weapon were upside down. Very shit-ending grin. Upside down, what does that mean? It means he was holding the bottle inverted, and there can only be one reason for that. No, Because he was chugging. He did a chug. Yes. It is a three-face. Oh my god. Yes, to brain someone with the bottle. Ugh. Mr. Gavin, I think things just took a turn for the worse. Oh? I see no problem, Justice. Huh? The only thing that matters is the truth. There's a good reason for everything. You'll see. Just tell me now. Defendant, can you explain your fingerprints on this bottle to the court? Papa. Parappa the Rappa. I stand by my plea of silence regarding the murder? For now? Not very cooperative, are you? This could hurt your case. I'm sure he's uncooperative because he's hiding something. There must be some reason. Objection! Oh, that was a different objection. Your Honor, you seem to have forgotten something. You hate Phoenix in this game so much? He's tired. He's older. I like him still. He's still my babe. And what might that be, Mr. Gavin? On the night of the crime, who was it who reported the murder to the police? Reported? Well, that was the defendant, Mr. Wright. But still, that... Oh, just you wait? Oh no. Oh no. Uh-oh. Really? Oh, yes, well, according to the case file, the murder was reported from near the scene by a call from the defendant's cell phone. Near the scene. Let's take a look at the diagram of the murder scene, shall we? Yes, let's. Oh, there's a window to... Is that an alleyway? Small room in a basement. He is a cheeky witness. Excuse me as I mute and cough for a second. Okay, I'm back. The victim was murdered in a small room in a basement 2 floors down from ground level. Of course, cell phones can't get reception so far down. 2 floors down, dang. The defendant used the stairs in this hallway to go above ground. The call came from the 1st floor of the restaurant. I see, and this is the phone that made the call? Okay. The goon window! Yeah, but the goon window is usually to outside, but this is to stairway. I guess to see when people are coming down? Is it a one-way window? Otherwise they can see you playing cards. What's the point of the goon window? Okay, let us look at the cell phone. The defendant could have just fled the scene of the crime if he so chose, yet he fulfilled his duty as a citizen and reported it to the authorities. And you claim he is being uncooperative? Oh. Nice save, Mr. Gavin. I'd better not waste this. I think the prosecution has toyed with their client enough for the time, but I do not like the goon window. Okay, well, let's look at the cell phone while we're doing this. Ooh, tape. Hello? Hello? Cactooth, no. Well, the battery is being held in with a piece of tape. He should just buy a new one. Maybe he can't afford it, or just doesn't care. Yeah, I think he's in the Depresso Espresso mode. Okay. Well, we know about tape. What was it you said? The defendant was in the room at the very moment that the crime occurred. How can you possibly know this? That's what I said. That's a good question. How indeed? The answer is simple, Your Honor. The prosecution has a decisive witness, who's probably the real murderer. Hee, you're as good as you say they are. So someone else was in the room the night of the crime, and they're like, yeah, he definitely didn't do it. That must mean they witnessed the crime. Everything up to now has been a warm-up, Justice. Are you ready? Very well, the prosecution may call its first witness to the stand. Aw! I don't want you to be the murderer. You're cute. The witness will state her name and profession. Hold on just a moment. Where's the witness? Judge, are you blind? I surmise that she has been frightened by the defense's demonic-looking... Oh. Oh. So I used a little hair gel. Relax, people. Relax. Have no fear. If any horns point in your direction, this court will cut. I'm just gonna be over here. Horn siblings, yeah. You are sure? I swear it on my gavel. Please, come out. Isn't violence against hair a crime, Your Honor? Well, if you are sure it is okay. Aw. Unless this person is like a bodybuilder underneath the coat or something. Wait a minute. Would the prosecution care to explain the witness's, paraphernalia? First witness is a bowl of borscht, yes. Yes, she is a professional, Your Honor. Those are merely the tools of her trade. And that would be? My name is Olga Orly. Or... There's a pun in there somewhere, I know that. I am employed as a waitress in Borscht Bowl Club restaurant. Then, why the camera? Of course, it is my pride to serve borscht that is naming restaurant. But I also perform, how it is said? Other service. I take it one of the services is taking the customer's pictures? Oh, like for example, this one. In color this time. That's the defendant? Indeed, on the night of the murder, man in white hat is one who has gone kaput. Indeed, that is the victim. Order, order! This is quite a piece of evidence to casually drop into our laps. It is the same way as I drop cold borscht onto laps of customers. Casually. Then the court will casually accept this new evidence. Let us see. Where were you at the time of the murder? I don't care, let me see your picture. Okay. So yeah, he could have been handing the grape juice over to him. Like he picked it up with his hands and just handed it over. Also, why is there snow everywhere? Is this like a themed restaurant? I will have a burger and shake for my order. No, only borscht. Only borscht here. Hot borscht. Oh, for the order in the court. I get it. Okay. Okay. Where are you at the time of the murder? I was in the room. The hideout, we call it. No. Cold borscht. Excuse me? The hideout? How do you know how it's spelled, Apollo? It is room where famous gangster bad guy was arrested. It is room where murder took place. Yeah, hideout bad guy. Your look of utter surprise. It is lovely. I will post my courtroom door later for you. Photos will be numbered, and you will write which ones you want a copy of. So there were 3 people in the room of the scene of the crime. The victim, Shady Smith, Mr. Wright, and Olga Orly, our witness. And if Mr. Wright isn't the killer, that means she might be. But she's so cute. Very well, witness. You will testify to the court about that night's events. That fateful night. That night, customer asked me to deal cards for game. It was cold. Both players played with hats on. Hats on. Yes, hat. Yes, hat. Okay, continue on. The victim. He plays whole time with his hand on locket at his neck. Again, checking. No locket? Locket. Phoenix, do you have a locket on? I was talking about your weird locket. Then, last hand is done, but something terrible has happened. That man flew at victim and is strangling him to death? Incidentally, who won the game? Isn't it obvious? The winner was the victim, Mr. Smith.
Objection!
That's ridiculous. Because Mr. Right can't lose. Aw, he's a fanboy. Ahem, Justice. Maybe you can come with a more legitimate objection. But he hasn't lost in 7 years. Take it from me, kid, it happens. It happens to you all the time, buddy. I didn't lose a case my first 7 years as a prosecutor either, incidentally. Until you met Phoenix Wright. Incidentally, I have some evidence here. Okay. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. These are the poker chips as they lay the very moment of the crime. The hand and chips on this side belong to the defendant, Mr. Wright. Those on the far side belong to the victim, Mr. Smith. Chips, you say. I mean, yes. Phoenix Wright, Ace Strangler. Yes, I mean, yes. Imagine that poker is war. Your hand is your army. Yeah. Okay, we get it. I know that. After all, in my youth, I was known as the poker head of courtroom number 3. Judge, that's illegal. I think he means poker face. Looking at this picture, it does seem that most of the chips are on the victim's side of the table. Does that match with the very well the defense may cross-examine the witness? Okay, let's look at the photos and see what's up. Yeah, so locket. And he was wearing the same shaped locket there, but like different chain. No locket. And then chips, blue cards, 3 kings, 2 aces, bunch of chips. And then here, 3 kings, 2 aces, bunch of chips. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. That all looks correct from what I can see. I don't know. But, cards, it was cold, both players played with hats on. Victim, he plays whole time with his hand on locket at his neck. Tell me about the locket. Gotta itch my face. His locket? I believe it was good luck charm, Dot. He could have hit many times since he played that night. Yes, he must have felt as though it might carry him to the moon and to the... Judge, why? As if though it was small enough to fit around his neck, it wouldn't have much lift. The defense would like a clarification. This is a locket we're talking about. I mean, a pendant with a picture in it, right? Not a rocket? Oh my gosh. Of course, I knew that. It was probably a pendant shaped like a rocket. That's why she called it that. No, a locket's a locket. It doesn't matter. It's considered bad to poke fun at the hard of hearing in our society. Hard of hearing or hard of understanding. So, what happened next? Unless I was done, but something terrible has happened. What has happened? Something terrible? Eek! The defense will refrain from needless shouting. Sorry, I need to seriously reconsider this vocal training thing. Now, Miss Orley, can you tell us what happened? Oh, I was so frightened. No, I trembled with fear. Man flew strangling him to death, but we know he was hit in the head with a bottle. Maybe. But the defendant would never do such a thing. Eek! Yeah, okay. Well, now, I can't say I've ever heard the defense try this tactic. If possible, please refrain from embarrassing me. So, why would anyone do something like this over a game of poker? Perhaps it is because the defendant has lost game? Yes, a crushing defeat for a man undefeated. So it's always with men like him. Winners make sore losers. Oh, how the mighty fall. I believe you know what it is you need to do. Right, sir. Leave it to me. There were only 3 people in the room at the time of the murder. The victim, Shady Smith, Mr. Wright, and... If Mr. Wright isn't the killer. I've got you now, Orley. Do I? Can I present the fact that he doesn't have a locket? Nope, I can't. I die. but he doesn't have a locket. Strangling him to death. Oops, that's attorney badge. Yay, okay, go away. Death caused by single blow to forehead. Objection! There we go. Oh, really? Strangled, you say? That's odd. Ah, normal customers only choke on borscht. No, I mean this report shows that the victim died of a blow to the head. Ack! Miss Orley, really now. Did you witness the crime? Eek! Good waitress skills. Pay her more. Looking at the picture. Oh, I think I had the games locket thing? Maybe. Looking at the picture, it doesn't seem like he was hit. He's still wearing his hat and everything. Yeah. Yet it's the fact that he was hit, Your Honor. How do you know? Oh. Okay. Here's the victim. We took the victim with his hat off during our investigation. Did somebody put the hat on afterwards? Well, that's quite shocking. His head certainly was hit. And there's no locket. But I have seen it happen. The defendant, he lunged at the victim, his neck. Oh, really, Miss Orley? I think I've caught you in your own lie this time. Justice, admire your enthusiasm, but perhaps you should think this through once more. He wasn't strangling the man, he was stealing the locket. What do you mean? I found a contradiction. There's one thing in her testimony that troubles me. Very well, it seems we should continue the cross-examination. There's such a thing as thinking too much. This horse is dead. Let's stop beating it. There's such a thing as thinking aloud too much, too. Okay. Oh, okay, we're still in this one. Okay. And unlock it. We're going to present what locket? I mean, he was wearing a locket before, but still, objection! You know, there was one curious part in her testimony, just like Mr. Gavin said. But what does it mean? You can't say objection and then just go silent. Mr. Justice, would you care to explain what you're thinking so intensely about? Recall the testimony, Your Honor. The victim played with his hand on his locket at his neck, I believe, she said. I hope you aren't about to raise an objection to the witness's grammar. No, but look at this photograph. Look at this photograph. Boom. Do you see a locket on the victim's neck? Well done, Justice. I'm impressed. Thank you, untrustworthy man. I knew you'd be able to handle this. But what does it mean? If we are to believe this witness's testimony as is, then the locket disappeared. This photograph does not make me laugh. Aww. Then the locket disappeared following the victim's death. Lockets don't just disappear, Your Honor. It's quite simple when you think about it. If the locket is gone, someone must have taken it off, no? Taken it off? Wait, you don't mean... The defendant wasn't strangling the victim. He was taking off his locket. Wouldn't that explain it? Ah! Defendant, what do you have to say to this? See, he's got a locket on. Say. Yes? I just noticed this, but... You have something hanging around your neck, don't you? Evidence! Oh, you mean this? Yes, it's a locket with a photograph inside. A photo... Okay, I know this from, like, reading Wikipedia stuff, but still, if you didn't know this, this would be a big shock. A photo of my daughter. Come again? Mr. Wright, you have a daughter? He do, Caro. Yeah, gasp. We confirmed it at the time of the arrest. Big drama. The picture in the locket is indeed Mr. Wright's daughter. So Mr. Wright has a locket too. Unless the bad guy, like, stole it? Why don't I buy this as just a coincidence? Well now, If the results of this poker game led to the murder, perhaps we should hear a bit more about the outcome of the game. Further testimony won't really be necessary. It's clear the defendant lost, badly. Olga. Miss Orley, you will testify to the court about the game played between the victim and the defendant. Da. Serious competition. The game began with 3,500 point-in chips for each man. House chips come in two sizes, small and large. The one who was winning, it was the victim. For last hand, defendant play with all chips on table and lose. The moment loss was decided, defendant grabs bottle from table and... No, he didn't play with all his chips because he still had some chips. Does seem to be a one-sided game. As the court knows, that was the defendant's life. Failure must have been a bitter pill to swallow. Ah, how many times have I heard these words? I've done it in a I've done it in a fit... Oh, it's still going. I didn't click. I've done it in a fit of anger. I don't know what accent to do for that, but a common tale, but true. He thinks the judge watches too many old court movies. Mr. Wright said he hasn't lost in 7 years, so this testimony must be wrong. Yeah, he didn't bet all his chips. Yes. Yes. Okay. No, he did not. Objection! No. No. Am I jumping the gun again? Do I have to press? Press. Last hand. It was largest points of any hand, and the defendant's hand was excellent. He tried to use it to take victory from behind. It appears that both the defendant and the victim's hands are in this picture. Truly excellent hand. However, so is the victim's. Oh, sorry, judge does not have a Russian accent. One with highest number of wins, the defendant loses. The victim, Mr. Smith, had the stronger hand than the defendant and crushed him. I believe that explains what occurred next. Once cards laid down on table, it happened. Moment loss was decided. Defendant grabs bottle from table and what? And what happened next? Even to think of it now, I shake and tremble. I did not believe such thing would happen. What such thing? Please, you must believe. I had no idea. How could such thing occur? What such thing? Niet. The defendant had been hitting victim. I saw it all happen right before me. I saw bottle coming down on victim's head. Decisive, isn't it, Your Honor? My witness saw the very moment of the crime. Remember, your first goal is to gather information. Yes, sir. The contradiction here comes justice. Okay, so I have to press more? Do we have to, like, do math? Because I don't want to do math. Are those the usual starting points? Were any special rules used? No, not special. Usual game, usual rules. If each man begins with 3,500 points, the total would be, 7,000. Exactly 7,000 points. Please, this isn't calculus. It's not even long division. Okay, so 7,000. Small and large. We're going to probably find out it's 500 and 1,000. Are the chips in this photo all the chips that were used? Da, of course. Something fishy's with these chips. Should I press harder? Yes. Press harder. Yes. Maybe you could explain a bit about these chips. Explain? What is there to be explained? Poker chips are poker chips. They're not fish and chips. They're not a chip off the old block. Not a motorcycle cop. Not... Oh my god. Thanks. Now that I've pressed her, I better ask something. What are these chips worth? Are they in dollars? Or rubles even? Yet, as I've been saying before, it was game, not gambling. Hard perhaps for capitalists to understand. 2 types of chips, 100-point chip and 1000 points chip. It is not money, da. Justice, sir, don't you find her comment interesting? I have to do math. Oh. In more ways than one, sir. I'd have it added to her testimony myself. Well, does the defense want to add to her testimony? Yes. Yes, I do think this deserves further scrutiny. Add it to the testimony. I know where you're going with this. Very well, witness, if you would be so kind. Da, your honor. Okay. 1000, 2 kinds in all. So if we look at this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that's maybe 1000. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 7,000. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, but if that's the case, then that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 4,500, and this is only 2,000, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, so he's got less poker chips. Okay. It was not the victim. I don't know which one, I don't know which thing to present to though, so, present? There we go! You sure it wasn't the victim who won? Absolutely sure? It seems our new attorney is a bit confused. A glance at the picture is enough to tell you who won. If you're not in kindergarten. I'm not in kindergarten. Just for safety's sake, could you explain the problem to the court? Of course, Your Honor. In this photo, I see small chips and I see large chips. Tell me, which were worth 1,000 points? Why, the big ones, of course. Duh. Oh, I thought so too. But then the totals don't add up. I'm gonna cough again. 1 second. Ooh, I haven't talked this long in a very long time. Oh, I thought so too, but then the totals don't add up. The totals? Let's review what the witness told us. Each man started with 3,500 points in chips, and the combined total value of the chips was 7,000 points. Yes, if my calculations are correct, let's see. 3 plus 1... No, Judge. They are, Your Honor. Now, look at this photo that allegedly shows all the chips. If the big chips are worth 1,000 points and the small chips are worth 100, and you add them up, how much is it? Do it yourself. I'm not gonna do it. 10,600 points. The chips don't add up. This clearly contradicts the witness's testimony. Hell yeah. But why? How could this be? She did the math! Let's go! Math! Exactly, Justice. Now that you know the what, you must determine the why. Right, there's only one possible way to explain this contradiction. Oh no. Starting points were wrong, chip count was wrong. Both were right. No, they're probably both right, but he actually... I don't fucking know. I don't know. Both are right. Each man began the game with 3,500 points. If all the chips are indeed shown in this photograph, then there can only be one answer. The value of the chips was the other way around. What? Want to know what I think? The small chips were worth 1,000 points, not the big ones. Madness, other madness. Oh, yeah, no, that's what I thought. Okay, we're good. Show me that photograph of the chips again. There are 6 small chips, 10 large chips. Why? That does make 7,000 points when you add them up. Excellent work, Justice. It's almost as though you figured it out by yourself. I did. Well, I'm just glad I was the one who said it. But wait! The value of the chips may be different, but that changes nothing. It changes everything. Indeed, the victim did have the larger number of chips still. Judge, do math. Exactly. If the small chips are worth 1,000 points and the large chips are 100, let's do a little math and add up the points for each side of the table. Oh! The victim, Mr. Smith, had 29,000 points and the defendant had 4,100 points. It seems that Mr. Wright was winning that night after all. Ho ho ho. That's impossible. My client had even less reason to kill the victim. After all, he was winning. Yogg! Now, Miss Orley, you must have known the true value of the chips, since you were there at the scene of the crime. Weren't you? Ah! Eek! Good boy, catch. Order! Order! It appears our defendant has lost his motive. And Mr. Wright's supposed defeat never happened. We must now ask ourselves whether we can trust the witness. Hold it. Phoenix? Excuse me? What is it, Miss Orley? Or... Oh no, she said it. I did not want to be saying this, but actually, you see, See what, Miss Orley? What do we see? In the last hand, there was cheat. A cheat? You don't mean a trick? Wait, or do you mean a scam? They're all the same thing. On the subway, have a good trip! Yes, there was cheat in last hand. That is why game ends with chip as they are. Great, just great. First we have lying, now cheating. Well, this case certainly has taken a turn. For the interesting. Witness, you will please testify to the court. Tell us about this cheating. In the final hand. Bum bum. The final hand. The last hand. Both men had full house. There is 4 of each card in deck from ace to king. If you look at both men's hand, cheat is more obvious. The next moment, game becomes argument. The defendant's trick was exposed. He took bottle in his hand. Poor Mr. Smith. Miss Orley, why did you not tell the court about this from the very beginning? Thought I smelled a cover up here. Well, folks, it's time to throw back the covers. A full house is a very high-scoring hand. Not easy to make in my experience. That alone is enough to suspect less than scrupulous tactics. Scrupulous. Mr. Gavin, what's a full house? Lawyers these days, you don't know your poker? I can't say this bodes well for your case or career. What is this, some kind of secret court poker ring? Justice. You know the terms 1 pair, 2 pair, and 3 of a kind, yes? Yeah, no problem. 2 cards with the same number makes a pair, and 3 makes 3 of a kind. Good. Now picture a hand with 1 pair and 1 3 of a kind. Like this. That's a full house. That doesn't sound very easy to make, does it? You can see each player's hand in this photo. I don't see any issues. They both have full houses. We forget there's an easy way to make a full house and go undefeated for 7 years. You cheat. Ahem, the defense may cross-examine the witness. If he did cheat in the last hand, that still leaves one important question. Mr. Wright lost that hand. Who's ever heard of a professional con man losing when they cheat? Final hand. Both men have full house. There is 4 of each card in deck from ace to king. If you look at both men's hand, cheat is more obvious. How? How is it clear? Well, the defendant, he played a 5th ace? I still remember both hands very well. Mr. Smith has 3 aces. And Mr. Wright has 2. Obviously cheating was a foot, or perhaps I should say a hand. But that's not correct. Okay, it's gonna add to this testimony. No. Objection! No, Olga, no. Appears the witness is mistaken. Mistaken? But my name... Look, this piece of evidence clearly contradicts what you said in your testimony. That's the photo of the chips, is it not? Justice, perhaps you ought to explain your point in a way that the judge cannot comprehend. In other words, use your finger to point out your point. Yes, please point out the contradiction in this photo. What particular point contradicts the witness's testimony? Fucking there. Oh, I have to click and drag it. Okay. Here. Oh, and then I click present. Okay. Present. Miss Orley, in your testimony, you made the following claim. Miss Smith's hand has 3 aces. But as you can clearly see, the victim's hand only held 2 aces. Eek! Well, maybe the witness is simply confused. Perhaps it was the defendant's hand that held the 3rd ace in question. Nah, son. Take another look at the evidence. As you can see, the defendant also had 2 aces in his hand. Where's this 5th ace? I see cheating, alright, and it's going on right here in this courtroom. Ba-dum! 2 aces in each player's hand does make 4 aces total. Hardly proof of cheating. Wait, please. It is true. I have seen it. The 5th ace. There was cheating, I swear to you. That's odd. She must be lying, yet she's the most sincere I've seen her all day. You're right to trust your instincts. Mr. Gavin, the thought reader, apparently. Who knows what lies in store for us in the trial ahead? Your Honor, if I may, I have a suggestion. What might that be, Mr. Gavin? If you don't mind, perhaps we might examine the actual cards. The cards? Mr. Payne. Oh no, one of them's gonna be red. The players' hands that night were set aside as evidence, were they not? The defense would like to request that the cards be shown to the court. Very well, the prosecution will submit this evidence. Which will you examine? The victim's cards or the defendant's cards? If these cards don't prove cheating was going on, nothing will. Now, which of these hands is more suspicious? The victim's hand. It's got kings and aces. It was the victim's hand that changed over the course of the witness's testimony. The defense requests time to examine Mr. Smith's cards. Very well, Mr. Payne, if you would. Very well. Well, time's a-wasting. Get to it, Justice. Alright. Only one of these cards is a blue back. I'm much more of a red guy myself. Blue, so not red. You know? It is not red. I'm more of a blue girl myself. Is that everything? No clues here. Okay. That's all. Oh, I can do that. Okay. I'm learning how to play the game. Yes, sir. Oh, I already did this. When examining evidence, be sure to view it from all sides and angles. What? Your Honor, look at this. One of the victim's cards. The back is a different color. Eh? Eh? That's impossible. But I put... Excuse me? You put that card in Wright's hand? What was that, Mrs. Orley? Yeah, I said... I have... Eek. Your Honor? Mr. Gavin, yes? Tell me, what is the easiest way to cheat at poker? To cheat? I'll tell you. One really needs a friend, a comrade, shall we say. The dealer. Ah! Wait, so you mean... This witness, Miss Orley. She's the cheater. A professional, I'd wager. Yeah! She slipped up. Order, order! Focus, Justice. Time to take advantage of her. Like, that's a really bad cheat. You can see card backs in poker. It's not like you're never gonna see it. Focus, Justice. Time to take advantage of her. I mean, of her mistake. Your Honor, please recall the testimony we just heard. That's impossible. But I put that card in the right's hand. 5 seconds ago. Ergo, Miss Olga Oli conspired to cheat not only with my client, but with the victim, Mr. Shady Smith. Ugh. Not only did she cheat, she cheated poorly, like I said. Therefore, it's not hard to imagine an altercation between her and the victim. What? Wait, you don't mean the defense isn't accusing the witness, Miss Olga Orly, are you? Time for justice. There were 3 people in the room at the time of the incident, and Mr. Wright isn't guilty. That means I am. The defense accuses the witness, Miss Olga Orly, of murder. Ah! Oh no, she fainted. Is that a lobster? I thought it was borscht. Mr. Payne. Borscht fine. Where is your witness, Miss Olga Orly? It appears she has lost consciousness, Your Honor. You've got hard of hearing and hard of vision. Mr. Justice? Your Honor, it seems you've presented a new possibility to the court, one suggesting a connection between the witness and the victim, Mr. Smith. And that means? This court cannot pronounce a verdict for the defendant at this time. What? I did it. I held out. I see no point in prolonging the trial this day. The prosecution will need to make further inquiries. Gasp, Phoenix! Mr. Wright. You can't end the trial here, Your Honor. Not yet. What nonsense is the defendant spewing now? Think, one of the cards is a different colored back. Don't you wonder what it means? What are you doing, Mr. Wright? Right? Raising objections right when you're about to get off the hook? Ridiculous. Mr. Payne, you of all people should know, Mr. Wright has a talent for the ridiculous. Perhaps we should get to the bottom of things. Let's clear up the facts about that game that fateful night. They were playing with blue cards though, so like 4 of them were wrong, right? I don't know. As was said before, we alternated between 2 decks of cards that night. Okay, yeah, you alternate, never mind. That was said before. The 2 decks at the club have different colored backs, blue and red. 1 color per deck. Why use different colored backs? If we use the same color, the 2 decks might get mixed. Used 2 different colors and they still got mixed up. We used the red deck for the last game. Okay. I see, but that's odd. For some reason, I have this impression that you were using the blue cards. Because Gavin, that's what Gavin said. Yeah, me too. I'm sure someone said something about blue cards. Gavin? Whatever. In the end, 1 card of the wrong color got mixed in, which means there was cheating. Yes, a card slipped into the deck would have seemed to indicate cheating. Yet, this card raises 2 serious questions. Apollo? Yes. Let's consider the first question, shall we? Think. In the last game, when was the card swapped? When? There are 3 broad possibilities here. It could have been swapped before the murder, during the murder, or after the murder. Oh no, I need to sneeze. I sneeze. Well, yeah, thanks for the news bulletin, Mr. Wright. Of course it was swapped. Oh? It might be as simple as you think, Mr. Payne, or it might not be. I'd like to hear what Apollo thinks first. When do you think the cards were swapped? When was the card swapped into the deck? Could it have been after the murder? That's what my initial thing was. Because, like, I think after. I don't know why. Perhaps it happened after the murder? Scratching my face. What's that? Ridiculous. What's the point of cheating after the hands have been shown? That's silly. Yes, but tell me, how do you swap cards during the game? I'll take silly over impossible. Take it from me, son. There's a lot of silly in this world, but very little impossible. Oh, even when the backs of the cards are a different color? If you pulled that during the game, you'd be caught in no time. That's what I said. Ah, quite true. That would mean that the blue card in question was swapped after the hands were shown, after the murder. Okay, this is going past silly and straight on to crazy. I ask again, what's the point of cheating after the game's over? Who would do that? Who indeed? That's one of the mysteries before us. There's another? Yes, a simple yet decisive question must be asked. Who swapped the red card for a blue card? Who? The game and the murder is done. The victim is dead. Only two remain in the room, alive that is. The defendant, Phoenix Wright, and our witness, Olga Orley. Olga did, because she said she did. Why, it must have been Olga Orley who swapped the card. She was trying to cover up evidence of cheating. That does make some sense. Sorry. But there's a problem with that explanation. The swapped card was from the wrong deck. Yes, the blue card was stuck in a red hand. Mixing a card from the wrong deck when the backs are different colors? Remember that you're talking about Olga Orley. She was the dealer. Do you really think she would make such a novice mistake? She said she did. Actually, I have trouble imagining the judge making that mistake. Give it a little more thought, Apollo. Right. Someone else? The one who swapped the cards wasn't Mr. Wright, of course. And, well, it doesn't seem like it could have been Olga Orley either. What are you suggesting? That's hardly a logical conclusion, I'll admit. As the fence, I think it only makes sense for you to name Miss Orley at this point. I did. Yes, I know. But she was the one who dealt the cards, right? I just can't believe she would make the mistake of swapping the wrong color card. And if the card was swapped during the game, it would be obvious. Something you'd like to share with the court, Mr. Wright? Oh, my apologies, Your Honor. I was just thinking how much fun this all is. Fun? How about confusing? I have no idea what the defense is claiming, Your Honor. If the one who swapped the cards wasn't the defendant and wasn't Miss Orley, then who was it? A third person, the real murderer. That's the question, precisely. Huh? I believe we're about to see this case take a new direction. A new direction? We'll find that, indeed, after the murder, someone swapped one of the cards in the victim's hand, and that someone made two critical mistakes. I'm sure you're going to tell us the first was swapping the wrong color card, because the one who did the swap didn't know two colors of cards were being used. The other mistake was the number on the card. Right. The person replaced the fifth ace with a king. I'm sure whoever swapped it wasn't expecting there to be a fifth ace after all. All they know is that the game had been won with a full house. So they picked a king from the table and swapped it in. But there's one problem. According to our case record, this person doesn't exist. True, not until now, but you have to admit the possibility of a fourth person. Though it's more than a possibility. Stop talking like William Shatner, Phoenix. Yeah, Wright is in total control of this court. It's a clown court and he's head clown. There was someone else there at the scene of the crime. What? He's in flip-flops. I believe the judge spoke truthfully earlier. You do make trials ridiculous, Mr. Wright. This trial has proceeded on one central assumption. Namely, that at the time of the incident, there were only 3 people in that room. I believe this new evidence, shall we say, overturns that assumption. The problem is that you chose to conceal this information from the court. I suppose that is a problem, yes. Court is adjourned for a brief recess. Mr. Gavin, I'll see you in my chambers during this recess. For what? Certainly, Your Honor. Very well, the trial will resume in 20 minutes. Whoa, jeez. District Court Defendant Lobby number 3. It's been almost 2 hours. It's been like an hour and a half. That was quite unexpected, Mr. Wright. To suddenly claim that there was another person at the scene of the crime like that. I must ask, is it the truth? Well now, I think you would know the answer to that. Why? Why? Being mysterious, are we? Sadly, I've no time for mysteries. I'd only ask that you leave the defending to your defense in the future. Otherwise, I cannot guarantee the outcome. I see you haven't mellowed out one bit, Kristoff. Justice? Yes, sir. The judge has summoned me to his chambers, so carry on without me. As I fade into the background mysteriously. You did well, Apollo. Oh, can I ask you something? Sure. That locket you wear. Is that really yours, Mr. Ray? You're wondering about the victim's disappearing locket? Here, you can take a look at it. That's a picture of my daughter in there. Boom, boom. Juicy. I think that's her name. I'm just surprised to hear that you had a daughter. Most people are. Perhaps you'll meet her one of these days. One more question. The one who cheated that night, was it you? What do you think? Huh? You know what happened 7 years ago. What I did. I don't know. I don't know. It's not unreasonable for you to think I might cheat. I'm back with snacks. Hell yeah, snacks. I want snacks. Did we win? Phoenix pulled a, I'm too cool for this. Actually, there was a fourth person in the room, so now we're in recess. Snacktooth. I never, honest, but it is odd that he managed to go undefeated for 7 years. Want to know something? There's only one game where you can be dealt bad cards all night and still win. Poker. Oh, because he can bluff. You see, poker is all about reading your opponent. In that way, it's a lot like a court case. Poker. Look at the lines on his neck. Man's ripped, kind of, maybe, but he's also a kind of sweater hobo mess. Poker, is that like trial law? Figure out what your opponent is thinking and you win. Well, yeah, but that's harder than it sounds. I think not. I'm just too cool, too good. Try as they might to conceal it, everyone reveals their true thoughts in the end. Their body language can become a valuable source of information. You're kidding. That witness, for instance, Miss Orley. She would touch the back of her neck during certain parts of her testimony. Did you notice? I didn't. I did not. No, come on, who'd notice that? Words, habits, twitches, it's all information for reading. That's the secret to winning, Apollo. Someone taught me, and now I pass the secret on to you. But I'm not worthy. I mean, there's no way I'll pick on these signals. No, you can do it. Huh? You just don't know it yet. What's he talking about? But you will, soon. Almost forgot one more thing about this case. You should know, I haven't told the truth to anyone yet? What? I knew it. I have my reasons, of course. All shall be revealed. Come on, Phoenix. And Apollo, I need you to be there, defending me. I need your power. My, power? What a useless dipshit. I don't know who you're talking about right now, because they're both kind of being idiots in different ways. I had no idea my cords of steel were that special. It's time. The real trial begins now. Do your best. It's not your cords of steel. At least I don't know if it is. I don't know about this. To be continued. I know it's Phoenix, but should we really be taking advice from the stinky piano player? I mean, that's a fair point. Yeah. First save. Back. Continue on. I think we're gonna go for another like half an hour maybe. April 20th, not 2014, 12:14 p.m. District Court number 2. We were in 3. Weren't we? Were we in 3? Did we move up a court? We will reconvene. Has our witness, Miss Olga Orley, recovered? Yes, Your Honor. Well, she's regained consciousness. Perhaps we can hear her version of events again. That's the thing. You see, she's quite fatigued. You're looking a bit fatigued yourself, Mr. Payne. Sadly, fatigue is insufficient grounds for refusing to testify or prosecute. The defense would like to request that Miss Orley take the stand. Very well. The witness will take the stand. Oh, she's shaken. Perhaps you could repeat your name and profession? Or perhaps you'd rather admit that you're a poor liar and poor loser. not. Ho ho ho! Name's Olga. Orly, that's the truth. I'm a pro dealer. People call me Olga Quick Fingers Orly. Yeah, dramatic cape reveal. Oh, really? Want to know something else? I'm not really Russian, and my last name sounds like, oh really? Oh really? There, that's the truth. I hope you're satisfied. Witness, you will tell the court what you were really up to that night. Fine, I'll talk. We had a plan, see? Let me remind you that you're currently under oath. Yeah, she knew everything. That was a quick change, a very quick change. Any further fabrications will have serious consequences. Fine. She's cute both ways. Like I said, I'm a pro. That guy, Smith, hired me to do what I do best. I was planted at the Borscht Bowl Club several days prior to the night of the game, as a waitress. So you were in cahoots with the victim. Not that he needed my help. Smith is a well-known poker player in some circles. But winning wasn't the main purpose of this game. It was about destroying a legend, the unbeatable Phoenix Wright. The plan was simple, elegant really. You see, we set up a trap of sorts. I was to plant a card in Wright's pocket beforehand, and then deal 5 aces during one of their games. When their hands were revealed, Smith would call him out and search Wright. He would then pull out the planted card, and the trap would snap shut. You swapped the cards. Also, it was a reputation attack. Expose it a cheater and lose it on top of it. It would be made of a great double play. Just like that, the legend would be dashed to pieces. Indeed. Getting caught red-handed at cheating would cast doubt on all his prior wins. A 7-year legend destroyed by one little card. That was the plan. Look at that stance. Look at that stance. Oh really, oh really? How droll. But it appears he made quite the mistake. A mistake? I agree, the trap was elegant. Yet what happened to that planted card? Hey, that's right. He's lucky, I'll give him that. You'd have to be slipped to free... Bleh, bleh. You'd have to be to slip free from a trap laid by Olga Quick Fingers O'Reilly. Oh, really? The witness would be much cuter if she dispensed with the evil mastermind stick. No, she's cute even as an evil mastermind. Cute? Who wants to be cute? I'm not cute. I'm bad. You hear me? Bad! You're cute and bad. When you're through being bad, perhaps you could testify to the court. Tell us about this trap and how it was sprung. The best laid traps. That night, I planted the card like I was supposed to, and Wright lost the last hand just like he was supposed to. Then Smith searched him. But the planted card was gone. The trap failed. The next moment, Wright picked up a bottle and swung it. It wasn't me who hit Smith, it was that no... She touched the back of her neck. It wasn't me who hit Smith, it was that no-good cheating defendant. A surprisingly frank testimony that still leaves us mostly in the dark. The trap was perfect, I tell you, perfect. If that rotten cheater hasn't messed it up... Look who's talking! Well, the testimony, for what it's worth, is all yours, Mr. Justice. With witnesses like her, who needs criminals? And with defendants like Mr. Wright, who needs prosecutors? Cross-examination. Best laid traps. That night I planted the card like I was supposed to, and Wright lost the last hand just like he was supposed to, then Smith searched him. But the planted card was gone, the trap failed. The next moment Wright picked up a bottle and swung it. She's touching her head. Press. Wait, isn't that a little odd? What's odd? You searched Mr. Wright thoroughly and found nothing? Which means he didn't cheat, which means he had no reason to strike the victim. Well... What's this? What's this? What was that just now? I sensed something. Something wrong, Mr. Justice? Nothing, Your Honor. What to do? Should I press her a little harder? Yes. Miss O'Reilly, you're hiding something. What are you talking about? You... Me? Quick Fingers O'Reilly hiding something? Yeah, that sounds really not suspicious. The defense will refrain from baseless accusations. I have one question for the witness, then. You say you saw the moment the defendant hit the victim. Is this true? Of course it's true. Lie. I did see it, honest. I saw when Mr. Wright hit him. Nope. With my own eyes, I saw it. What's this weird vibe I'm getting? I don't know. That witness, for instance, Miss Orley. She would touch the back of her neck during certain parts of her testimony. Did you notice? I did. She's doing it now. Touching her neck, was it? Ooh. What is this? Shinigami eyes. Shinigami eyes. What's going on? The sensation. It's coming into focus. There, that twitch. It's so clear. It's like I could perceive her habit, like I couldn't before. Ooh. Gotcha. Perceive. A gotcha. A what? Perceive. Miss O'Reilly, perhaps you're unaware of this yourself. Unaware of what? Whenever you get to a certain part of your testimony, you touch the back of your neck with your left hand. My neck? My back? So what? Would indeed, Justice. I hadn't noticed anything of the sort. When she says that part of her testimony, she subconsciously recalling something. Her body reacts to the memory and she touches her neck. What a quirked up way to say using your eyes. Like, oh, I sensed something. I perceived it with my special powers. A memory? Would someone care to explain what he's babbling about? This is highly unusual, but let's ask the defense. I'm liking this, though. I have a special eyes. You claim the witness is remembering something. Maybe you have evidence of this memory to show us? Her habit is scratching her neck whenever she talks about the moment of the crime. So what will remind her most of the moment of the crime? Miss O'Reilly, whenever you recall the crime that night, you scratch your neck. I've noticed it happens when you think about the moment of the crime. There must be some reason behind this habit of yours. I believe the weapon that left an erasable impression on your neck is this. What? I don't know. I don't know. Whenever she talks about the moment of the crime, she touches her neck. And what reminds us more of that moment than this bottle, the murder weapon? Because of the bottle neck? I don't know. I do not know. But something doesn't fit. If you were only the witness to the crime, why would that make you touch your neck like you're in pain? What's he talking about now? It was Mr. Smith, the victim, who was hit. Not you. This is a cross-examination, not a cross-wild conjecture. The witness's habits? They're completely irrelevant. Justice, I'll admit, I'm a bit confused myself. Me too. This is certainly a unique cross-examination. I'll explain later. Just trust me. Now's our only chance to break her. Bang. Miss Orley, please testify in detail about the moment of the crime. The very moment. Yet, I am knowing nothing. We know you're not Russian. We know you're not Russian. As I said. The witness will testify, please. Now. Dramatic reveal. Bah, fine. He's the one who did it. I didn't let him out of my sight until the cops got there. You seem uneasy. You try standing up here. Her eyes are darting all over the place. I must be getting warm. Tell me, after the crime, what was the defendant like? Well, he must have been stunned by the weight of his crime. He sat in a daze at the table until he did not. He called the cops. I believe you've gotten all the testimony you're going to get out of this witness. So what do you think about her testimony? I'll tell you what I think. Her testimony is flawed. Is basically bogus. Bogus. It contradicts the evidence. What's that? Well, show us this evidence, Mr. Justice. This evidence that you claim contradicts the testimony. She didn't let him out of her sight until the cops got there. I know there's some evidence that contradicts that. Their phone! Miss O'Reilly, we have record here that clearly contradicts what you said. It states that the police were alerted by a report from the defendant. Eh? And we know that the defendant left the room, climbed the stairs, and made that phone call from the first floor of the Borscht Bull Club. Heck! So, explain how you kept your eyes on the defendant when he left the room entirely. Eek! See, it's not borscht, it's lobster. It's lobster. The man who picked up a bottle and swung it that night wasn't the defendant. Lobster borscht? I thought borscht was like cabbage. I don't know. Swinging light. Oh, beet soup. Okay, yeah. So not lobster. You dirty cheat, check his pockets now. It's gone. The card's gone. Gag tooth with the knowledge. Ugh. Just then, Smith grabbed the bottle next right, and he hit me. You, some master of cheating you turned out to be. Yeek! I am good Polish boy. When I came to, the victim was already dead. Is that it? That's why I couldn't reveal who I really was. If it came out that I was in league with Smith, I'd be a suspect for sure. Well, yeah, you are. Where does this leave us? Madness. This is madness. I'm dreaming. It must have been me who was hit with a bottle, and I'm imagining all of this. It appears our prosecution is at his wit's end, and frankly, I can't blame him. Mr. Gavin, what do you think about this turn of events? Mr. Gavin? Sir? I believe that, as the defense in this case, we are compelled to call Miss Orley a big, fat liar. Yes. What? 3 were in the room at the night of the murder. The defendant, the victim, and her. And she has a motive. A motive? Her plot foiled, the witness got into an argument with her client, Mr. Smith. The denouement? I don't know how to pronounce that. Of that argument was murder. What? I'm no killer. It's a trap. Someone's trying to denouement. I don't know if that's right either, but I'll take your word for it. It's a trap. Someone's trying to frame me. Heh. What tangles, what... Phoenix, come on. What tangled webs we weave when we practice to deceive. So tangled, we catch ourselves in the process. Mr. Wright, stop. Everybody's waxing poetry. Literally this time. Such a hasty conclusion. It's not like you, Christoph Gavin. What are you saying? Why not consider the other possibility, that there was another person in the room at the time of the murder? Because they threw a rock through the goon window. Right, like Mr. Wright was saying before recess. A single card was swapped into the victim's hand after the murder. And the one who swapped the card didn't know 2 colors of cards were being used. A 4th person. Ha, this theory again. Your 4th person doesn't exist. Indeed. That's why I decided to bring this case to court. Here, where there's no escape and no chance for deception. The perfect place to catch the real criminal. No chance for deception. This entire game is catching deception and being deceived. The real criminal, and we're in luck, a clue to real criminal's identity was kindly provided for us, and right at the beginning of the trial, no less. Gavin? Gavin did the murder? I mean, I didn't trust him. What? Apollo, perhaps you know what I'm talking about. I do. Sorry. Oh, well, okay. Remember what I said. The 4th person who swapped cards made one critical error. He or she wasn't considering the color on the backs of the cards. Right, but how could such an obvious mistake occur? The cards used for the last game were red. Yet, there is one person here, in our court, who thought those cards were blue. Yeah, I had that impression too, but why? Well, Apollo, think you can figure out who it was? It's not me, I swear. It's not you, Payne. Who is this fourth person? Why do I always get put on the spot like this? Let's hear what the defense has to say. Who was it? Who thought the cards used in the final game were blue? This bitch. This bitch! As I expected, your eyes and ears are as sharp as your hair. He just likes me because we have similar hairstyles. I was right? Christoph Gavin, you were the fourth person that night. But of course Mr. Gavin knows the color of the cards. How would he? As you can see, the photo of the crime scene is black and white. That's what I said. You can't tell which of the cards are blue, the ones on the floor or the table. But look! You can see the colors in this photo. Yes, but when he said the cards were blue, it was well before this evidence came to light. It's true that defense and again, blah, 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 you blue flames. Skip, 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 please. On the cards, their backs wreathed in blue flame. Yada, yada, yada. Wah. Well, Christoph? Mr. Gavin? Mr. Gavin, is something the matter? No, nothing. Excuse me, I was just so sudden. Right, you aren't seriously accusing me, are you? Oh, Christoph, you know even I'd never take a joke this far. Pom, pom, pom. This has gone beyond ridiculous, beyond dumb. This is insanity. The defendant accusing his own defense attorney of murder? I assure you, I'm quite sane. But what possible connection could Mr. Gavin have to the victim? I wasn't aware that I had a connection to Mr. Smith either. Oh, you've played this game too, Gagtooth? Yeah, this is wild. I did catch on from the beginning. It's like, this man is not actually trustworthy, but we'll see. I wasn't aware, yes, but Mr. Gavin and the victim have never even met. Well, what if they have? Uh-huh. There is a possibility, after all. They may have met that night, before the game started. What are you suggesting? Is this the truth Mr. Wright was staying silent about? Well, only one thing to do. Mr. Wright, the defense would like to request that you testify to the court. The defense is like, nah. Mr. Gavin, testimonies must relate to the case. This relates to the case. How could anything happening before that game of poker be related? Well, obviously, if we make them. I'm not sure I follow, Mr. Gavin. As I explained before, the defense believes that Mrs. O'Reilly. No, am I to assume that you speak for Mr. Justice in this? He is the defense, not you. Oh, snap. Mr. Justice, the matter of Mr. Wright's testimony is up to you. Oh, okay. Okay. Does the court, in your opinion, need to hear Mr. Wright's testimony? Hell yeah. This was Mr. Wright's strategy. He was planning this all along, and I intend to see it through. The defense would like to request that Mr. Wright testify to the court. Hey, too, Justice, you would betray me, your teacher, if you murdered a guy. I'm sorry, Mr. Gavin. This isn't about loyalty. This is about the truth. Betrayal. Very well, the defendant, Mr. Wright, will take the stand, please. Man, he's really just putting it out there. Uh-huh. Appetite before murder. That evening, Christoph and I had dinner. We sat on the table in this photograph. Oh, so he was on the other side? Shady Smith walked in 5 minutes after Christoph left. Okay. When the trap failed, Smith hit the waitress. The girl was knocked out cold, and Smith was uncontrollable. I left to call the police. When I returned, he was dead, blood streaming from a cut on his forehead. That's when I made another phone call to defense attorney Gavin. Mr. Gavin, you were at the Borscht Bowls Club the night of the murder? I dine with him rather frequently. And he talked to the defendant on the phone directly after the murder? Quite against my will, I have to become involved in a murder. I thought I might be in need of a lawyer, so I called him. You were planning this all along, weren't you, Wright? just because you wanted to drag me into your little murder trial. The only thing I want is the truth. As I did back then. And now. Back then, 7 years ago. What happened? I thought my office was doing you a favor when we took on your defense. It appears that I was wrong. Very well. The defense may cross-examine the witness. Justice. Sir, he's lying, and you're going to expose him. Understood, sir. Oh, Mr. Gavin, versus Mr. Wright. This can't end well. Why can't I have a normal trial? And this is your first one. You're still baby. Appetite before murder. Do you have a tell? You look down. Tell me about this. And when you returned, the victim was already dead. Yes. Well, admit, I was a little startled when I walked in. A little? He was bleeding from his forehead, after all. I guess I'd be startled too if I walked in on a scene like that. That's when I made another phone call to defense attorney Gavin. Could you explain why you called Mr. Gavin? I'd obviously gotten involved in a rather sticky affair. I figured if Kristoff's law offices would give me a friend rate for my defense fees. Ah, glad to hear you intend to pay. Oh, I'll pay in full, Kristoff. It was I who got you involved, after all. You may find the price of your defense quite high, my good friend. Quite high. Is this the truth that Wright was talking about? Justice, you know what you have to do. Blah, blah, blah. Hey, what's Mr. Wright trying to tell me with this testimony? The truth has to be in there somewhere. Sat with you in this photograph. Had dinner with Mr. Gavin? Yes, he dines with me at the Borscht Bowl Club quite frequently. We were enjoying a usual dinner at our usual spot, as usual. Usual. I always eat at the table closest to the piano. I see. Where Mr. Smith was sitting. Okay. So the plates and such on the table were from your dinner? Indeed, the remnants of my meal with Kristoff. We dined for 2 hours, and then Kristoff left. After that, Shady Smith walked in 5 minutes after Kristoff left. Yeah, kind of involved if it was smart or sly. Or, like, dumb. I mean, like, it's probably smart in his brain, because then he can, like, pretend to play it off, but, like, actually pin Phoenix. Because otherwise he has no control over the situation. 5 minutes, so the two of them could have passed in the restaurant during that time. That would have been a fateful encounter, to be sure. Hee hee hee. Oh, Mr. Wright, what was it you said? Kristoff Gavin and Shady Smith may have met? I believe I did say that. Here I was all nervous about this meeting. And now we hear they just passed in the hall? That does seem a little weak as pretense for murder. Well, it would be, if that were all that really happened. Come on, Mr. Wright. What are you hiding this time? When the trap failed, Smith hit the waitress. You're looking down and smiling, smirking. About this failed trap. This is the same trap that Miss Olga O'Reilly mentioned. The plan was simple. Elkin, so really, you could see which side of a trap, and plant a card, blah, blah, and then deal 5 aces, yada yada. Ba-ba-da, ba-ba-da, ba-ba-da-ba, ba-ba-da. You swap the cards. Just like that, the legend would be dashed to pieces. Yes, a harmless prank, in essence. It was by a quirk of fate that it happened to discover it. A quirk? I happened to put my hand in my pocket and found a card. The card she planted. Yes, I snuck a peek at it and found it was the 5 of hearts. I had a feeling something might happen, so I disposed of the card before the game. Disposed? Where? There's an empty bottle of grape juice, but it's fully empty. The grape juice I'd been drinking right beside me. I threw the card inside the bottle. An empty bottle of grape juice? The murder weapon? Yes, I rolled it up and shoved it in. The colored glass makes it hard to see. A battle of wits between the deceiver and the would-be deceived. That sounds like terrific drama. A card inside the murder weapon. That's strange. Did the police miss it in their investigation? Maybe I'll take a look. Let's take a look. Can we open up the thing now? No clues here. No, it's completely empty. Mr. Wright, the pokerhead of courtroom number 3 approves of this battle of wits. Please revise your testimony with this new information. Card in the bottle. You did, but it's missing. Mr. Wright, if I may? Yes? I've examined the bottle and I don't see any card in here. No? What, Mr. Wright? Surely, isn't all you have to say for yourself? I can't say I know what happened to the card. I did put it in that bottle, however. Huh? Perhaps a 5th person can't figure it out, and a 6th person could have helped. Mr. Gavin, Mr. Wright is your client. My apologies, Your Honor. I won't have you disparaging our investigation either. We looked inside that bottle. There was nothing. So what's going on? Is Mr. Wright hoodwinking us again? No, Gavin took it out. Or did the card just disappear? In any case, please continue the cross-examination. Gavin is salty as fuck. Yeah, very true. I would be too, technically, if my client just decided to be like, actually, my lawyer did it. Decisive evidence. Oh, push him harder, Justice. Break him. It's just you and the witness in the ring. Go for the KO. Why do you get the feeling we're not on our client's side anymore? We sat at the table. Wait. I don't know. Do I just press the ones where he's looking down? You made the call to the police from the first floor of the restaurant, correct? Exactly. Cell phones don't get a signal down in the hideout. Was anyone on the first floor at the time? Not a soul. It was the middle of the night, after all. So there, in the darkened restaurant, I called the cops. After making the call, I returned to the hideout. It didn't seem right to leave the injured waitress alone. What do I... Do I just have to press everything? Okay, I pressed this already. Friend rate. Surprised. Did that. Discovered the trap. They could have met. Oh, wait, that. What do I do? Is this one of the things where I have to have, like, pressed? Oh, why in the bottle? I perceived my opponent's intent immediately. I used 2 entrapment in DC. I knew what was coming. Oh ho, so you struck first. I like that. I know every trick in the book. They don't work on me. At least when you get lucky and stick your hand in your pocket, they don't. Yeah. What? I pressed everything! Is there something I haven't pressed or haven't done? I presented the bottle. Like... Okay. Yeah, gotta present something, but what do I present? Like, I'm the cell phone? Because it's got a tape, but I don't know. Do I just present it again? I have to present it again? Oh my god. Mr. Wright, if I may. Or I just did this. Evidence? Yeah, sure. Shoot me the idea. This is a... I don't know. But he had a hat on. But he had a hat on? Oh, but he had a hat on! Oh, the blunt force but cut. Also very true. Take a look at this photograph of the crime scene. See the victim here? He's wearing a hat. He had a hat! I wouldn't think you could see blood on his forehead. Good point. Justice, next time you point at an inconsistency, put a little more oomph into it. Mr. Wright, can you explain this to the court? I forgot to mention something. I was the one who put that hat on his head. Why? You? You put the hat on the dead man's head? He wore it through our entire poker game. After calling the police when I returned to the scene, his head was in full view. Shining bright, just like this photograph. And I picked his hat up off the floor and put it on his head. Why'd you do a thing like that? All I can say is, I'm sorry. But that's the only thing I touched at the crime scene. So, Miss O really didn't see it? It being the victim's or his head? I think not. She was that cold. I believe I was the only one who witnessed his head. Ah, here we go again. Mr. Gavin? Ahem, pardon. It just seems that our client is determined to lie his way through this case. Hey, he's still our client, isn't he? I believe that's enough of that. Mr. Gavin? This witness testimony is more like a travesty. It's riddled with lies. I'm beginning to see how you came to lose your attorney's badge 7 years ago. Well, you certainly have a unique way of treating your clients, Kristoff. I never knew. I believe it was you who threw the first stone. Mr. Wright, if you intend to even tell the truth about this case, it's now or never. Don't be misled. I haven't told a single lie here. Eh? When I noticed the trap, I put the card in the bottle to dispose of it. And when I put the hat on the victim's head, let's just say I had a reason for doing that as well. Reason? That reason is right here. Your cell phone? What? That night, recall that I spoke with the defense attorney Gavin after calling the police. Just in case, I recorded our conversation. Oh, what's this? Now that we're all here, I see no reason why I shouldn't play it back for the court. Kristoff, I seem to be in a bit of trouble. What's this? Game not going well? Something like that. That gentleman who challenged you, he turned out to be good? He turned out to be dead. Someone hit him, hard. You mean someone cracked that flawless bone china pate? It wasn't you, was it? Me? Please, the cop should be here any minute. I'm in your hands, should it come to that. Bone china plate? Oh, pate. Plate. A kind of porcelain, and very smooth and shiny, and not plate, but pate. Oh. I believe he was referring to a certain gentleman's balding forehead. The court appreciates the defendant's discretion in not indicating my forehead. Wait a second, something's not right about that phone call. So after Mr. Gavin ate dinner with you... Oh, pate? I don't know. Because, like, I've heard pate maybe before, but, like, pate is, like, the food. So I don't know. He left the Borscht Bowl Club? Most certainly. Then how did he know? When did he see this bone china pate? Pate? I don't know. Oh, that's right. Yes. That was when I began to see my good friend in a different light. Bum, bum, bum. Troubled, I returned to the crime scene. And when I spotted Mr. Smith's head again, I realized exactly what was wrong. Well, Mr. Gavin, the stage has been set. Perhaps you would like to explain this to the court. Exactly how did you come by your privileged knowledge of the victim's head? So, this is your reason. The reason why you put the victim's hat back on. Your point, Mr. Gavin? It's come down to this, has it, Phoenix Wright? Boom, 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 boom. Order. I will have order, Mr. Payne. Yes, Your Honor. I believe this court has been left with no other choice. Are you prepared to hear defense attorney Gavin's testimony? We're getting defense attorney testimony? Well, as the prosecutor, I... Very well, we'll break for 10 minutes, after which Mr. Gavin will take the stand for cross-examination. Are we all clear on that? Damn! Crystal clear, Your Honor. Very well. This will be the final recess for the day. April 20th, 2:32 p.m., District Court, Defendant Lobby number 3. Mr. Gavin and Mr. Wright are both in the judge's chamber. Who would have thought today would turn out like this? May I? Trucy! Huh? What? Hello, sir. Please, pick a card. What's all this about? Is this one okay? Hey, it's the red card. Excellent. I have a message for you. The last hand is about to be played. You'll need a trump card to make it. A trump card? The card you have chosen is magical. Use it wisely, and the game is yours. That's all. A blood. An ace. Where do I remember that card from? Mr. Smith's hand had 3 aces, and Mr. Wright's 2. He took the bloody card away. Sidekick detected. Locked on. It's true. I have seen it. The 5th ace. There was cheating. I swear to you. Missing 5th ace. Flash of red. Is this blood? You have your trump card. Now it's up to you to cut the deck and draw the truth. My father's fate is in your hands. I know you can do it. This bloodstained card is my trump card for finding the truth. I fell deep into thought as my mind raced to understand what this all meant. That girl, I'd seen her recently, but where? I mean, come on. That's when I made the connection. Trucy. Bloody ace added to the court record. April 20th, 2:45 p.m. District Court, courtroom number 2. Whew, okay. I think my voice is going. Oh no, I can't stop. How do I stop? There we go. I'm gonna save. Okay. My voice is going. So, that was very fun, but my voice hurts. And I think we're left off at a cliffhanger, so this might be a good time to call it for the night. And when I come back, we will have a very cool place to leave off from and come back to. Such a cliffhanger. Sounds good. Thanks for the stream. Thank you so much. Oh, yeah, this was fun, and I'm glad that people had a good time. I'm glad that everything went well. Did my sound all right? Like the balance and my voice and the music and all that stuff? Because I have no idea. But yeah, I think that's gonna be it for tonight, and I'll probably come back either, I don't know, maybe tomorrow, maybe next week. Sound was solid? Good. Thank you very much. Okay. I'm off. I will see you next time. Have a good one. Bye-bye.